favor say aye.
Aye.
Terry, can you turn on the phone, please?
Turn the what?
Turn that on.
On?
Oh,
Yes,
well,
I didn't
that's-
do that.
She should be calling in. Is she calling in?
No, actually Brenda's not able to attend today. The person that was actually going to do the meeting is just getting back from quarantine from COVID, so they're gonna put it on to next week.
Okay, this isn't working. Don't we just push 9? Yeah. If is there dial tone that's supposed to come up?
I'm not sure. I've not messed with that ever.
Oh, I know what it is. Try this. Why is this not working? I'm not getting the line here.
Does it say on the top right there, or you're reading that, right?
Dial 9 for outside line.
Yeah.
9. No dial tone.
Huh.
There's one.
Push the wrong button. We'll try this again. I never remember having to push the... Let's try this. There we go.
There you go.
Please enter your participant or moderator code.
Oh, my fingers are not working. I gotta get down here. I'm getting lightheaded bending over.
Wonderful.
Didn't we have dial tone before when I pushed 9?
I could have swore you did.
There it is. It just takes a while.
Impatience. Oh.
This is not.
It's not good. Is there something you gotta push before you go to the 9? The one time it worked.
Yeah. I'll let somebody else try it. So this is the process. Call in bridge. We don't need to do the 641. We just do the 591 because it's a
Okay.
local number.
You trying it, Bill?
Well. And then 9?
That's what I thought.
Or do we have the line already?
We'll push it and
Sounds
see.
kinda like it.
But no, that's the local circuit.
Oh,
We have to get outside. We're having a hard time with this.
Oh, yeah.
excuse me.
Let's let the expert get in there.
Let's see how she does it now.
Which one did you push? See, you don't even...
Please enter your participant or moderator code, followed.
Yay, Carla.
So you don't have to have dial tone to do it then.
No.
Please say your name, followed by the pound key.
There you go.
You got that far once, by accident somehow.
Sorry, everyone, we're a little bit late. We had a little problem having an expert do the
Technical difficulties.
dial in, so we've done our number 1, approve the minutes and agenda. We're on to number 2, 9 a.m. Brenda Moritz Tenold, NRCS, discuss with possible action, repairs to DD 53, LAT 11C.
And they will not be attending the meeting today. Someone was out ill, so they will I have it on the agenda for next week.
Okay, so we'll table that for next week.
Thank you.
Auditor's office will discuss drainage matters.
I went out to DD 18 Lat 11, and I had met with the railroad workers that was out there, and I tried to email myself some pictures, and they didn't come through.
I have pictures.
Well, I have some, but he had some really good ones from being like down in there, and so I was kind of bummed. I'm gonna see if I can't figure out
I
his
got
name.
fairly close.
Yeah. So it was fun, but they should be done, because that was on Friday.
I was there when they were welding the second pipe to the first one.
Okay.
They pound in a section and they weld on another hunk, is that how they do it?
Yeah. Well, and it wasn't really, the first one they said went real easy. It just slid in there. Now, I'm sure it gets harder as you go, but
Yeah.
there's this track. I'll bring up pictures so you can see it. Did you go out there?
I didn't.
I forgot about it. Well, I was,
Every time I went out there, they weren't doing anything. They were like getting ready for the next step, so I never actually saw
I just saw them
anything.
welding.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but it looked good, and everybody was happy with their work. I talked to a couple Jacobson Westergaard people, and they were happy with it. The railroad people were happy with it. So,
good.
yeah.
That's the slammer if they need it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That's the slammer. I don't know if they used it or not. That was sitting off to the side.
I'll be darned.
That's the auger. I don't know, did they push the pipes in, then auger it out?
Auger the dirt
I
out.
assume the auger
Yeah.
and the pipe goes in at the same time.
So there's the box that they have the contraption set up in. They're welding right there, the first pipe to the second pipe.
Wow.
There's the pusher machine. It pushes, there's a wall back. This is open down there, but then they have a plate there that they push against the wall.
Against the wall of dirt.
So,
It was interesting to
Very
see.
good pictures.
Yeah. I'll be darned.
oops,
Yep.
That's a
yeah,
good picture,
yeah,
too.
Yeah, no, that's,
it's hard to beat that one. Yeah.
Baby pictures.
Right?
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I saw all of that.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
you didn't see the baby though.
No, I haven't seen the baby. So,
Yeah. So we got to see the baby.
Chris hasn't been into your office.
how you doing? You cute. So that should be done, and Jeremy was, I think, had been up there too to see it. He will be up, I think he's gonna finish 11 and then go up and finish that one.
So is one side still exposed then?
I'm sure it is.
Probably with a box still sitting there.
I don't know,
Something's gotta
I
protect
don't know if it's just they took their stuff out and then left that hole. I don't know,
I'll have to go.
cause I didn't go back up, so.
Let's see. Yeah, because I suppose, well, there wouldn't be any water flowing through it yet, so.
Well,
is
we
it-
don't, it's gonna be a little bit before he gets up there. There's gonna have to be something there to protect it.
And I don't know, maybe they filled it back in with the dirt they took out. They
You
could've.
Probably need some kind of a cap on
I was
it.
just gonna say, they put some kind of a plate over the end of it or something, so.
Because it'll go into a void and then you'll fill it with mud.
Yeah.
So, I just don't know what that end looks
So they didn't expose it on the other side. They just
Mhm.
push it in and
Oh,
leave.
and then leave it, and then you just dig it up and connect to it when you're ready.
So how has everyone been, have they all gotten this, all of the landowners?
That is a different project than the one we're talking about by Scarville.
Right, but it's 11, right?
No.
That-
It's two
that was
different
the
projects.
18 that ladder.
Oh.
Yeah, it's-
oh,
It
okay.
still has the number 11, but it's
At the same
different.
time, just to.
Yes, okay,
Yes.
well, that was confusing.
And they're both
to me for a
impervious.
little while,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, and then I drove by 11 today and on my way here, and he is through the road and past the first turbine,
Yeah, they were on
going right to town.
Thursday when I went
It's
by,
gonna
they
go
were
pretty fast
passing
now,
the
I
road. Mhm.
With good weather this week, boy, he should really, if he can get the pipe.
Right,
Yeah.
Hopefully he can.
so, he's been
Hopefully
doing
they
a good
caught
job,
up
I
over the
think.
winter on there making pipes. Cause it kind of, the
And they're
use
getting-
of it kind of slows down.
And they're
over
getting
the winter.
smaller, so.
Yeah, yeah.
Hopefully they're easier to get.
Anything else for drainage?
We can go to DD 11. I did send out letters to the landowners. They should have received, I know I've gotten one call, so the majority should have received them already.
Okay, and in the letter, does it include
I did,
everything there, or just theirs,
so
or?
the DD, the lower main ditch, which encompasses everyone in the district, just got the classification letter and a copy of the agenda so they can see how to get online. And the main tile people got all of that,
Okay,
plus I did a printout of what they would owe altogether by landowner, and the copies of the letters. And then there were 4 or 5 landowners that also are in that annexation area, and they got that also. So it
Okay.
depended on what you were
So that
in,
has
depended on
just
what you got.
been mailed though recently?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Cause I wondered why people weren't calling about it.
Well, they all know.
Yeah, yeah.
This is just a more
It's been on
concrete number
Right,
than what they've had
a
before.
larger number.
a larger number.
Not so much larger as it's just a more concrete number.
Okay.
It didn't really go up because the project is still based on a $2 million project or whatever it is. That amount hasn't
But
gone
does
up.
it include mitigation?
Yes,
It does.
yeah, it includes the huge mitigation.
Yeah,
So this is gonna be high,
yeah.
I pray,
Yes,
yeah. So, but like I said, it's just more concrete based on their parcel,
Okay.
so.
Anything else for drainage?
Did you find out anything about that cemetery?
Oh, I have dug into history about
Have
that.
you?
Yes, 4 different names.
she has
Okay.
some information for you right now, I think.
Yeah,
I was
she-
just in there.
Yeah. It went by West Prairie. It went by West Prairie. The sign says West Prairie.
It does.
The original incorporation, the difference between our church and that church is, our church was West Prairie, eventually West Prairie United Evangelical, or no, West Prairie Norwegian United Evangelical Lutheran Church.
What a name.
Theirs was West Prairie Norwegian Evangelical, or no,
Mm-hmm, it was NEL,
Evangelical, but
not
Norwegian
unified.
Synod was the difference at the
Oh.
end.
Okay,
They were of the Norwegian Synod,
okay.
so there's a difference. But
And it wasn't
I
unified
need
like
to
yours.
forward you the information I found, that I gave to our church council. There's an article in there from Frank Myers, that used to be the Thompson Courier editor. He
Okay,
moved to southern Iowa, and he wrote a story about it. The Kloppen boys that used to live south of town, that they used to go caroling up on the hill to Josie Johnson, and then he'd go to church on Christmas Eve over at West Prairie Church, 2 miles from their place, which would be this place where the church used to be.
okay,
Then later, in the 30s or whatever, when rural areas started getting more sparsely populated, their church closed its doors, and he brought their bell into Zion. So there's story
at
showing
least
the
it
connection to
connected,
Zion.
yeah. So,
So
who owns it?
can we just let Zion assume ownership in it?
at that, we would have to talk to Kelsey, I don't know
Yeah.
legally how to do that. We
But
could
can
if they
you just
choose
send
to
the-
take it over.
Send the levies,
Mm-hmm, we
paperwork,
can
all-
put it in their address.
yeah, I
Mhm.
think that would be simpler. I've
Are
already
they
looked-
okay with that? I need
I've
somebody
already
from the
lined up-
church.
Or I've already had somebody offer to pay those fees
That's great, but I
Is
need
this
somebody,
your drainage assessment?
for them,
yeah,
or donate it to them.
but I need somebody from the church to say,
Right.
yes, we will
And
take
I'm
it on the, as an
Working towards
address.
that before.
Okay, yeah, that's great if somebody wants to pay it, but we still need for our references in the
Ongoing.
computer, it needs to have an address and they need to be
I'm
aware of
guessing
it.
it'll be the same as the Zion Church
Right, right,
address,
just need them to say that.
but I'll be talking to them this week.
Okay, perfect, thank you very much for doing that.
Yeah, there was 4 different names on that cemetery.
Huh. And this is over a drainage assessment, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Big, like $1,500 for a cemetery that
For this
probably doesn't
project,
even charge for lots.
Yeah, yeah.
and all the years prior, it went to their church.
Oh, really?
Because it said West Prairie, so people just assumed Cause it's been that way since I've been here, and Carla
But
said
there
it was that
probably
way.
wasn't any big bills.
No,
where it was noticed.
no. Yeah.
Now there is,
Mhm.
now they're noticing.
Right, well,
Well,
because they're in
well,
the main
look at it.
tile.
How many repairs did we do to that tile? We never hardly did anything to that tile.
No, and it was never classified out, so anytime there was work done, the whole district paid, which they're part of the district anyway.
Yeah.
So they never knew that there was an issue,
Yeah,
So,
so,
yeah.
yeah.
what a tangled web we weave.
Right?
But I found a lot of neat stuff in the process.
Right,
All right, anything else for drainage?
no, thank you.
We'll discuss with possible action regarding COVID-19 policies, including extending policy through March.
Good morning.
Morning, Julie.
Good morning.
How are you guys?
Good.
Healthy.
Yay.
How are things on the forefront?
Busy.
Good.
We are still just getting 200 doses per week, but we're sharing with our partners, and they're getting through their list. I know that some people are wondering if they're taken off the list if they haven't gotten reached, but no, they are still on the list. It just is going to take some time. I'm now with Johnson & Johnson. The Janssen came through with the EAU. Hopefully, we will. I know the state asked for some of that, so I believe I read that some of them are getting it. And I believe Saragordo County is one of the counties that is getting the Johnson & Johnson. I'm not quite sure when they're going to get that. But
Did I understand
hopefully-
that the state is focusing on the meat packing plants for some of the
Yep,
first ones?
we as an agency are just finishing up in tier 1 with their first doses, and we will be getting ready to head into tier 2 here shortly. And I believe that the Johnson & Johnson, like you said, I think they're thinking of doing those for the meat packing and industries where they can't do the social distancing, and because it's a 2-part thing, live in a congregate setting.
Would that include Rembrandt?
Yes.
Okay.
And we have reached out to them already.
Good.
So.
All right.
And also in that tier are individuals with disabilities living in the home setting and who rely on someone to take care of them.
So Julie, that's Mosaic and,
Oh, there's some probably over in Lake Mills in the apartments.
Yep, exactly. So we are working, we worked yesterday and today on getting a plan for that, and we're hoping by this afternoon we can release some information regarding that. So we are working on that right now, so, of what they need to do. Because I believe the state was asking the MCOs to help them out because we don't have all of the knowledge in our agency who has the disability in our county, but the MCOs do, so I believe the state is working with them for each county. But we have a plan in place, and we're just getting ready to send out the information regarding that. We just want to make sure we have our ducks in a row before our phone starts going off the hook.
All right. Anything else?
I know we have an employee that their child was exposed for the 3rd time, so they're, as far as the extension of it through March, I feel that being in, our office takes care of personnel. I feel like we should continue it. You just don't know,
yeah, I agree.
I don't
and
think
the
we're
kids,
anywhere near the end of it yet.
yeah, and then.
I agree too, Chris. We're not near the end of it.
Yeah.
So
And daycares, the sibling has to stay home, so now you've got, I don't know, what else do you do?
I agree. I think we should probably extend it for another month. We decided to do this month by month, and I guess I would make a motion to extend the COVID-19 policies through the month of March.
I'll second that.
On a motion from Derby and a second from Smith to extend the COVID-19 policies through the month of March for employees. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, motion carries. Anything else, Julie?
Nope, I'm gonna try and get this stuff out to Channel 2, on our Facebook page, on our website page, and, hopefully I can get KIW to put some information out there for me on what to do. So we're just working up the press release. It takes a little bit, so we got our I's dotted and our T's crossed. So hopefully this afternoon, if not this afternoon, maybe tomorrow.
All right,
All right?
okay. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
I know this is COVID related. Your office, we've been extending the tax sale stuff month by month too.
Correct.
Um,
I've got the resolution from Julie
okay,
for you to sign.
Oh, I didn't put it on for today.
I
well,
believe that's what it is.
it's under COVID policy kind of,
Oh, it is? Oh, it used to have its own
but
line
because
item.
of COVID. But
Okay,
So technically,
we could
Okay.
officially do it next month. I mean, they're not gonna go after anybody right now.
yeah, okay, I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot to move it forward.
There you go. So yeah, it probably officially should be done next week on its own line item. We'll put it on.
Okay.
We'll officially do it then. All right, well, we got about 7 minutes before we're, I think, or 6 minutes until we're ready for your subject. We'll go on to Scott Minders, engineer, we'll discuss secondary road matters.
Morning.
Morning.
Had a few things. Our with Ethan moving to superintendent, we have an opening in Lake Mills. We posted internally. Nobody's moved, so we'll be advertising and hiring somebody for that position in Lake Mills. That person will be running a gravel snow route, and in the summer be on the dirt crew. So that'll go to the papers and be published this week for a couple weeks, and hopefully have somebody hired by late March. That's it. Okay. I was kind of doing some looking through our winter budget. It's hard to tell with the budget itself because we order salt up front and fuel and things like that look the same through the winter, whether we haul rock or plow snow. So we'll see some of those savings coming later in the year, budget wise, but overall the winter has been quite manageable. We've only been, putting salt end to end on roads a few times, I don't know, half a dozen at the most. So salt piles are full. We have stockpiles in Buffalo full, Lake and Thompson is close of rock, and they'll be moving to Lake Mills and then eventually to Sunnyside, I believe, which is our pit here west of town. The progression is to finish stockpiles, do a little bit of spot loads, hauling from the quarry to bad spots in the roads, and then they'll go to resurfacing roads with rock from the stockpiles to the roads. So it's looking like that'll be on schedule this summer. Roads are drying out a little bit here as we get some warmer temperatures. The guys have been out and about kind of cleaning up shoulders and making sure the banks are off the shoulders so that the roads can dry out better, taking advantage of the cold temperatures here before it gets warm. So I don't know, I think the spring is fixing to be quite manageable. So as the frost starts to come out and things warm up, we'll see for sure, but I guess I'm optimistic that this year will be better than most. And
not expecting that May 3rd blizzard.
I'm not expecting it, but we'll be ready for it if it comes. So all that stuff is looking good. Other than that, the guys are getting ready for the auction in May and fixing up equipment, kind of giving it the wash and clean, and in some cases repair and paint.
Are any of the auction items already up on the site, or when does that
We're
happen?
supposed to have everything kind of categorized and, what do I want to say? All the details and pictures posted by the beginning of April. So we got a little time for that yet.
And you guys have to do that, or does Hallberg do that?
Hallberg will do all of the photography and marketing and everything like that. Advertising, all those things, they'll take care of it. We pay for those pass through, but they will take care of it. I suppose some of the photographing and stuff like that we might do depending on the stage of thing or where it's located or however that works, yeah. All right. One more thing I guess I'll mention. I talked to Ethan this morning about the water leak out at Rice Lake. Sounds like they're hoping the warm weather will give them the opportunity to disconnect that leaking water line and run a water line over ground until it can be fixed. They've been waiting for the ground to thaw so that they could replace the whole line, assuming if they do a spot repair, they'll have problems elsewhere. So they're waiting for it to thaw so they can replace the entire water line. Nathan with LM Pump is planning to do that work as well as fix the road where it's settled a little bit and combine all that and bill it out to the landowners that use that water service.
Oh, so Nathan will fix the road? That's not something we'll go in and do?
He will be most likely working with a subcontractor to do that work, but the water line is privately owned, just like similar to how a gas line or a water line in a city, sometimes if they're owned by different companies, it's their responsibility to fix the water line and any damage to the pavement that it causes if it's
The
repaired.
concern out there now, I think there's 6 people on that line, is that it's just, at least it's still running.
Yep.
You know, they all have water.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a concern. My thought on it was, if they're gonna take that portion of the road out, because it's collapsed, you know, will they just put it back in with gravel until because that whole area is slated on your 5-year plan for new, right?
Well, it would be a rehab, I would call it at that point. It wouldn't be all taken out and replaced. Most likely it would be some sort of overlay or repair process.
Yeah.
So you'll still need a base coat of some sort.
In any case, yeah, we would probably do a full depth patch of asphalt so that it's the same as everything else if we do an overlay and don't have to patch it at that time.
I think the general consensus is, you know, if it's gonna be, just talking with people out there is, you know, if it's going to be replaced within X number of years, it should just be not extensively repaired, you know, just a
Leave a
patch.
speed bump there to slow people down.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't, something, you know, because I just hate to see you spend a lot of money.
Where's this at out there?
It's, you know where Todd's house was? From Todd's house, to the clubhouse, that little stretch.
South.
Yeah, south.
I don't think that the pavement repair part would be significant at this point. I mean, it always is for a group of landowners, you know, because it adds up fast, but from what I've seen, it should be pretty isolated.
Are you gonna want things to settle first, though?
We usually try to replace pavement once the project's done, and if it settles, we can just put a leveler over top in the future. Otherwise, you're managing a gravel patch for a long time, and it just is difficult because it behaves differently than pavement. It's always gonna be the spot full of holes and ruts, and will take a lot of attention. And in some cases, you don't have settlement. So,
There's
Do
only
you
one
have a-
house that enters on that spot. You know, there's no other houses. Everyone else can get to their houses other ways.
yeah,
So there's not a lot of traffic then.
Well,
There is.
Well, yeah.
there is,
yeah.
but it wouldn't have to be.
yeah, you can go around.
There's a loop.
There's a loop.
Do you have a packer?
We got a couple
Something-
different things, yeah.
Something that you can use in a small area like that?
We do, again, it's really the responsibility of the owners of the water line to do that work.
I would think in a trench like that, a jumping jack would be, these lifts would be good enough. And depends what you're putting back in there.
Most
too.
likely, we would fill it with some granular material
Yeah,
that
if you've got some strength to it.
will kind of self-consolidate.
What year was that slated on your?
What year?
Your number?
It was, I think, 2025 or 6 fiscal year, so it could be either one of those construction years. And the 5th year in a 5-year plan is always
Moving target.
part hope, part plan. You know, year 1 and 2, you're pretty confident with. 3 and 4, it may move, and year 5 and 6 are part hope, part plan.
That's quite a while to have a gravel patch.
Certainly, like, and you know, we talked about the A16 tile crossing too, about leaving that a patch when they go across. You know, however it worked with our paving, that's kind of come and gone. But
Yeah.
even then, we would have most likely paved it with impending, you know, paving coming up even within a month or so. We just haven't been too impressed with leaving patches of rock or gravel on paved roads.
We have a 9:30. Do you have much else or?
Nope.
Okay. Do you have anything else for him? Okay. All right. Thanks. 9:30, Julie Swenson, or her designee, treasurer, to discuss with possible action semi-annual report.
I believe that the semi-annual report was supposed to be this.
Okay, that's the resolution.
Right,
Okay.
not that, because the semi-annual report is done in December, so I'm not sure
Semi-annual, yeah, December and
January,
well,
so,
it's January and I suppose July, but.
right, so I'm not sure if,
Oh, so this is labeled wrong on
Yeah.
the.
I think it might be.
Oh. I don't know where that even got to,
I'm
so.
not sure,
It was
because
probably
this
a
is what
copy and
Julie
paste of
has,
some sort that didn't,
so I'm not
copyright.
sure why, because this was all that was laid out for me to
yeah.
give to you, so if you
So
wanted
do we
to
want to
date it.
just say it was a mistake on the agenda and act accordingly on the extension of the postpone, it's a resolution for postponement of tax sale under Iowa Code 446. So we've been doing this month by month, and we're putting it off, a couple more months probably?
I believe so, yes,
Yeah, because it'll be June, I think is when
the tax sale is,
Yeah.
yes, third Monday in June.
so I'll entertain a motion to approve the resolution to extend.
I'll make that motion.
I'll
I got
second
a
it.
motion from Smith and a second from Jensvold to approve the resolution to extend the tax sale, postpone of tax sales. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
All right.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
We'll make a copy of that and get that to Carl too.
Yes.
So we can scan it. Thank you very much. Have a great day.
Sorry for the confusion.
No problem.
Okay, open forum. Stanford here and I'm still doing this.
See?
But soon it'll be busier. Anything else for open forum? Alright,
I'll go get Carla to do the budgets.
in my research of this cemetery, I started finding other cemeteries that have gone by the wayside. There's one just north of west of Thompson, that supposedly just kinda disposed of.
To the west.
There's one up by Rake. It's got 3 tombstones in it. And the newest one was from like the 40s or something like that.
Yeah.
And,
That's interesting.
yeah, it's kind of funny how evidently somebody takes care of it.
This is the budget that Carla's going to be using, and if you have any questions, she can come in. You can look through that.
Now, I guess my one question is, this was a max, what we had put out there, or,
This is what you approved.
right? This is what we'd be discussing in the public hearing.
Mm-hmm.
Not knowing how much our bids are gonna come in at for the
Right.
courthouse road. I'm not sure, depending on what happens with the turbines that got retooled last year. I would imagine if they get their way and they go back to zero on that portion, or on that portion of the improvement, you know, they have to pay a certain amount for the existing turbine, but then they go back to zero on the part of the improved portion. That might affect some of this, I would think. The ones that they're putting in now would affect, well, let's see. If she acts on it now, it may not affect this budget, it might be the next budget after this. Because it's, the assessor is 1 year, the auditor is the next year, and the taxes collected is the third year. So there's a delay effect. So we should get, a couple more years of actual taxes.
So that affects that line 10 on page 6, or that,
Yeah.
what that is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, page 6, line 10.
Is that right?
Oh, yeah, over there, the 3.149. Yeah. But not this year, I don't think. Because that would have been the first group
Yeah,
that might be
because-
affected, that got done last year. So she assesses it. I don't know if she assessed it before the end of the year. But there's a determination to be done yet on how it's.
They haven't made that determination yet?
Well, they were trying to do it as a group. Everybody was on the same page among the assessors. I haven't heard back yet. But I would still think we have 1 year delay on that because of
Yes,
the way our tax system
it
works.
should be good for this year.
Yeah.
Next year, we may have to do something different.
But in the meantime, that's the same tax year we'll be getting more revenue from the Northwest. There should be 20% coming online by that year.
Yeah. What is there, 17 or 18 of them up there?
Oh,
And this is how many? There's repurposing, is it 44?
I don't know if you remember the formula. There's a certain amount of it they still have to pay taxes on. So it's not, it's much like your house. If you get an abatement on an improvement, you still have to pay taxes on the original part of it. Well, here they're paying taxes on a portion of the original part.
Yeah.
It's a complicated formula.
No, I'm just thinking of how many turbines, so, you know, what the difference is. These are coming online, 17 or 18 are coming online, and 44 are gonna,
In the long run, those turbines should be paying more money.
Yeah.
But the first couple of years are gonna be more challenging. But if we have other turbines that are already online now, that are gonna be paying taxes, our portion of it should help cover that.
So who can I get that from? Sue?
Yeah.
Then?
Yeah.
So that I can see that?
I don't know if I have it with me. Let me look, I might have it here. She had emailed it out, I think, to all of us.
Did you see that, Bill? Did Sue email that to you? I don't think I saw.
Maybe it was just because I was asking questions.
Yeah, maybe.
what, on the turbines?
Yeah.
Because there's a Department of Finance
Yeah, she sent me a,
determination. Yeah, here it is, Department of Revenue. Determination. Let's see which pages it is to. I think that's the
Well,
3.
just leave them out and I'll make copies after a
Yeah.
while.
Golden Prairie. I guess she doesn't say the number of them there, but it shows, in the first, says year 2021, it'll be a 0 value. In 2022, it'll have a 5% value. Yeah, it'll go all the way up to 30. So the taxes, overall taxes in 2022, which would be this budget, I think, would be 121,819. And then it'll double the next year and on up from there. But of that 121,000, we're probably about half. I looked at this schedule here. We're about 49.52% maybe.
Oh.
So we're about half the taxes. Whereas these others, we collect all the taxes in the TIF district.
I'll make a copy when we get done here, if that's
Yeah.
all right, let's just leave them together.
If you want a copy of that, because that's one of them that's in, there's several that they're in. I was just referencing one of them. Yeah, there's more here too. Let's see. Here's a copy you can have.
Melissa just sent me a thing on that cemetery from Rake. It actually made a travel blog or whatever. There's photos of it with the 3 tombstones. She must be watching.
We are being watched. Okay. So obviously our check from the Department of Revenue hasn't come in the mail yet. But they were promising on our statewide supervisors meeting. Back to this. I don't think it's gonna affect this much. Next year might. By then we'll know what's going on. So on page 14, it shows the ending fund balance. The bottom.
What's the restricted
Which one?
under fund, 32?
Oh. 6 million? 3,000.
I know.
Look here, see if it comes up.
So why is Carmen not here?
She's in a meeting with the software company.
Oh.
They're trying to figure out our processes to make sure that they format it to our county for our new system.
Fun times.
It was all day yesterday, today, tomorrow, and Thursday. But she can come in. I mean, they can take
Yeah.
a couple minute break if you need her, and she can come in.
I could probably look that up and see what the restricted is. Refunded debt, payments to escrow. sent to the next year.
That we,
Start on.
um,
Just curious if I added these lines up.
that's,
Total,
that
no,
turns
no,
into.
that's 9 million. I know you have to have a certain amount to start with the next year. I don't know if that's a target number or what it is. It's hard to look up on my phone.
Yeah.
If I was on my computer, I could probably do it.
I
There's a
thought about
70-page
bringing my laptop.
Department of Management has a 70-page document that breaks everything down. Finding it in there is a trick.
So is that something that Carla would just know?
Probably, yeah.
I sent her a text message, but I haven't heard back from her yet.
Okay.
Go take it to her.
Well, we could table this for now and do this, the claims and the other things. I'll just start stamping these.
So I just haven't put in the restricted and committed and assigned in these yet. It's just the way the state requires that we report things.
So I guess the question was, what is the restricted?
It's different funds, like the general other and the other.
Okay,
So things that you can't just spend any way you want to,
okay.
like REAP or the Board of Prisoners account or different things like that.
For mental health or is that separate? Yeah.
Yeah, that might be in there.
I think I saw that separate.
But it's
Okay.
it's under the refunded debt payments to escrow.
Huh?
On page 14,
Okay.
there's a category, refunded debt payments to escrow, and under that are fund balances.
What line?
Well, start on page, or on line 29. That's what I'm reading.
Yeah, but that's not what he's saying.
That's their question, though.
So
That's
it's
the
under
original
that.
question is
Does
what.
that have anything to do with the refunded debt payments to escrow?
It has nothing to do with refunded debt payments to escrow.
All right, that's just a highlighted line is all?
Still not,
I thought that was a
show me what
category
you're looking
heading.
at. And
I thought that was a category heading, and this all is included in this. Because these all,
no, these are down, 30 starts its own thing.
okay,
And then these are, like restricted would be Board of Prisoners funds. I just haven't put that in there yet.
okay. But this line over here,
Has it because I took this off the annual report.
okay. Then that will change.
The annual report won't change.
Okay,
This will change because I will put in the assigned and the
all right.
different
That's why
balances.
they're blank then.
Yeah, I just
Okay.
haven't put it in yet.
Okay,
I really just wanted you to tell me, on the tax page, page 4, that's what you want for taxes and that the ending balance looks
well,
okay.
Go back to that other one and look at the ending balances on that page 14. That showed the ending balances, right?
Yes,
That's what I was comparing.
okay,
So that's about what we discussed to cover our expenses possibly.
well, it's 17%, or just a little under 17%.
For that category.
Mhm. for general basic.
You guys okay with that then?
Yeah, I was just learning.
Mhm.
How long can I use that excuse?
Long time.
You got a year,
Well,
full year.
well, in my case, at least 7.
Okay.
And of course, they do change things over the period of years too.
As soon as you think you got it figured out.
It's just that, you know, there's lots of lines, but then when something has, like, it's not filled in at all, and then there's a number, it kind of is
Mhm.
like, okay,
Yep, I just haven't put that in yet.
okay.
So that highlighted line I was talking about, that's just a line that's not being used?
Yes. Yep, we don't have escrow.
Did we use it when we were refunding?
Nope.
We never used it?
Nope.
I thought we had used it when we
I don't think so.
refinanced debt. Had 2.
Yeah, but that wouldn't have gone in there, because that was in debt service. and-
Right, right.
Yep.
Okay.
Anything else?
No,
Thank you.
that's
All
it.
right,
Thanks, Carla. Yep.
Have fun.
I don't think that's what it is. So did you want to finish that? Or what did we?
I was just discussing budgets. I mean,
Right, so,
I guess we were okay with the way she presented it. Right? Okay. There was no action, so.
We already acted on it.
Anybody have any questions on the Summit monthly county claims?
So that's the ones that you emailed
Yeah.
out.
Yes.
I did
there's
have-
one, okay, yes, go ahead.
I did have some questions, but they're just kind of broad and general, so
Yep.
you have to just, so do we have how many prisoners do we have now? Do we?
It varies from day to day.
There's an app for that.
Yeah, what is
There is, yes.
Oh,
It's called Mobile Patrol.
Yeah.
Before.
I haven't looked at it, and I think I got it on my phone. I haven't looked at it in a long time.
so.
I mean, and it's through the state, so it's nothing that our
Yeah.
department does. But it says inmates, and you can kind of,
You can see how many are there at a
See.
time.
Last time
Yeah.
I
And it-
asked, I thought he said we've been averaging like 12 a day or something.
yeah, we have been averaging a lot.
Well, I
Yeah.
was just looking at the
They're not all ours.
expenses for jail food.
Oh, Hy-Vee, right,
Right.
because we don't make their food, so every meal is catered.
Yep.
And it's
Mhm.
gone up.
Yeah,
Well, so my question was, you know, is Hy-Vee the only place to?
yes, because it's dietary specific. That we have a dietitian, and so you can't just go to Subway or Shooters or A&W. It has to be
We have in the
Diverse.
past, on certain days.
when
gotten
holidays.
Through the Meals on Wheels people.
That's
I don't
actually
think
what I was wondering, would it be
We
less
have
expensive?
done that in the past.
Oh, I don't remember that. That must have been years ago. We
Not that
do,
long ago.
if we have a holiday and Hy-Vee is closed, they might get pizzas that day. Or they might get Casey's donuts in the morning or something like that. But we have a dietitian who works with Hy-Vee to make sure that they get the right food.
So it wouldn't work to use, the senior,
Well,
I don't know if they could, because if there's a snow day and they don't work,
yeah, that's the inconsistencies there.
Good Sam, or, you know,
yeah.
any of those, to partner with any of those? It
That
just
would have
seems-
to be up to the jail. I mean, you could talk to the jail administrator and find that out.
Last time I talked to Dave, that was the complication, because it wasn't consistent every day. He'd still have to go on the weekends out to Hy-Vee. And, you know, if you have a snow day, then all of a sudden you gotta plan with Hy-Vee and
It's a lot of money.
It is, but it's still in line with what we used to pay even when it was Red Owl and we did Red Owl and Four City Foods. Because they did try to split that between the two stores. We just have a lot more prisoners,
Sure.
but I believe the income is
But they all.
increasing also, so it's offsetting.
Especially
Yeah.
Hancock, we're guaranteed money from Hancock for each prisoner.
So,
So that was,
Which they're, when we were talking about building the jail and the projections for the, inmate increase turned out to be low. At the time, I'm like, but it's the jail, both us and Hancock.
I think they started at what, 3 or 4 on up to, was it 7 or 11, whatever, by year 20.
Yeah,
And we met that within a couple of years.
yeah.
okay.
So,
So then the other question I had was about the audit services. Is that just a yearly,
yes, yes,
not a semi or anything
Nope.
like that?
annual.
Okay,
We pay so much now and then when they're done, so it's like a prepayment. Cause I think it's $40,000 for the whole year, so we've paid an amount now for the services that just came and did their study, and then when they're done with the report, then we pay the final payment.
okay.
it costs the county almost as much to deal with lawbreakers than it does to take care of our roads.
Yikes. So, and then the architectural fees I was seeing on there, how much have we already paid, and is that just a payment, or is that a?
That is a payment for the gentleman who just did the roof information.
Yep.
They are pay as they go. I mean, if they do something, they bill us for it.
Okay, that's not a,
I don't know if there was ever a contract with them. I don't know that answer.
okay. So that 23,000 was just for the roof stuff right now?
We had two different, the one architect, yeah. The auditor, we had one. Okay. Architect, yes, that was just for the roof information that he just did, the bid specs, everything he showed you.
Yep.
His expenses for that.
Okay, so that's a pay as you go. All right, and then that's all the consultation that he'll do throughout it and stuff too.
Right. So they will bill next time for anything
Yeah.
in here and
When we
there.
go through the bidding process.
Okay,
That's not any future.
It's not something we had a choice on. It's required by law.
We all gotta say.
so what was that now?
Having this architect expenses,
Uh-huh.
it's not a choice.
Right,
Yeah.
It's required by code.
But it's not like there's no contract that says that they were going to charge us $100,000 for the whole thing, and we're just paying.
They could have. There's
They-
different types of ways. He
Right.
could be on a
But-
percentage of the overall thing. So if he was at 8% of the project that's at, say 600,000 or something.
But he doesn't have a contract.
No.
no.
So we don't have to worry about
That's how
that
some
scenario.
architects do
He's
it.
just
Yeah.
doing
Yeah.
time, he's doing time and materials.
Right.
Because this is a very complicated.
I've seen architect fees up to 13%.
Yeah.
So if it was 10% of the project, quite a bit.
And then Susan, that top one is I had to do an extra check run to pay the last bit of health insurance bills that we have in the month. So I did not send you that by email.
Oh, okay,
There are times when I do that. The health insurance used to be just one bill and I just send it to our insurance company and they paid the vision, dental and whatever. Well, now we don't do that. And sometimes I don't get the invoice until after my second payment and I still need to get it paid in the month. So I'll do a separate check run for those few things.
okay.
So just wanted you to know that.
So any more questions on the semi-monthly claims?
I'll make a motion to approve the semi-monthly county claims.
I'll second it.
A motion from Dennis Volk, a second from Smith to approve the semi-monthly county claims. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, same sign.
Look at too, go to town.
Oh, boy, well, but that's tough to keep up now. Used to be, you could whoop the guy that was writing it all out, now he's over there stamping just as fast as me, so.
I know how to run this copy.
Yeah, it's got electronics on it, it's confusing to me.
Nice to have it. How many people are on it? But then there's also the online too. There's probably one of those documents that basically was her estimate. One way and her estimate another way, and it's really look at it.
Oh,
Quality
gee
control.
whiz. I need to get a bottle of hand lotion here so it gets fingers, you can't feel them darn pages.
You know, like at the grocery store when I try to get those little produce bags open, my hands are really dry.
Yeah.
I always take the disinfecting towel I wiped off the cart with. I have that sitting in the
Yeah.
cart, damn.
That works,
Like that.
that works briefly.
Back
Like
in the old
this
days,
stuff here.
I just lick my fingers. I don't do that anymore.
Yeah. I never did like licking my fingers because even back then it didn't make sense.
I lived this long.
Well, that's the way we build our immune systems, I guess, is everybody licks their fingers and touches everything, right? It's kind of a nasty thought.
Grew up eating dirt, so it's healthy.
Yeah, it's, minerals in your diet that way.
Build up immunity.
We had herd immunity back when we were kids. We
Yeah.
played outside in the dirt.
Oh,
Ask Howard Hughes about that. He probably died because he was was such a hypochondriac.
Yeah. Yeah, he was, one of those that, he bathed in alcohol, I think.
Lived in a bubble.
Yeah.
Really. So are you guys okay with the payroll then?
I'll make a motion to approve the payroll claims.
I'll second that.
I got a motion from Jensel and a second from Smith to approve the payroll claims. All those in favor say aye.
Alright,
All those opposed, motion carries. I believe we stand adjourned.
I have some bars in my office if you wanna come get them. We're actually on a break right now, so.
was that right?
Yeah.
So it's
Is it-
bar time?
It is bar
Chelsea's
time.
birthday bars or somebody else? Chelsea had a birthday, didn't she?